Hi, Internet family. I am here at Sycamore Springs Park in Illinois, right by the border of Kentucky. Ooh, hope you guys can hear that. They're the best nature sounds here. It's so beautiful. And the water is flowing, and the trees are green. Excuse my husky voice. This is the first time I've spoken this morning. I've been on the road for several days now. And today I will reach my initial destination, which is in Kentucky, to teach a dear friend Reiki 3. I'm really excited about that. And then I'm going to go visit some family. And being on the road has been super easy this time. It's been really quick. I planned on just giving myself about 6 hours of driving time per day and then resting the rest of the time and chilling out and checking out where I was passing through and stuff. But it was so hot that I didn't want to get out of the car. So I was like, well, I'll just sit here in the AC and keep driving. And so I'm actually getting in over a day earlier than planned, which is super great and fun. And I'm stoked about it because then I will have a day to just get my Reiki lesson plans down and rest and work out. Because I do some yoga in the morning, but it really depends on the nature and whether or not there are a ton of mosquitoes and whether or not the ground is marshy. So for the first couple days I was good, and then for the last couple days I have been less good. Lily has been great, very well behaved, chilling. For those of you who have asked me about traveling with pets, which many of you have, try Rescue Remedy, the flower essences for pets. They work great. I've tried a couple other things, and I don't like anything that actually dopes her up. I don't like anything that makes her groggy and weird. But Rescue Remedy just chills her out, and it's really good. And she's amazing. Let's see what else to report. There have been a couple of snafus on the road. My check engine light came on, which after getting it scanned, which was a whole other issue because of COVID, so I had to go to a couple of different places and then get it scanned. And at the time I stopped in Amarillo to do it, so it was really hot, and I thought to myself, please, car, I just got you serviced 2 days ago before I got on this road trip. Please do not leave me stranded on the side of the highway, and you're new, so it would be great if you didn't. But yet again I am reminded that community is wealth, community is abundance. My brother, who is a car guy, who is who I'm going to see, also talked to me about it after I told him. He told me to get it scanned and told me what to do. Whenever there's a car thing, automobiles are not one of my areas of wisdom at all. So I call him up and I say, what do I do? I'm on the road. And he says, go get it scanned, see what's going on, let me know, I'll let you know. So after seeing what the problem was, it was a cylinder 3 misfire, for those of you who know what that means, which I am not one of. We decided that it was because during the quarantine time in LA, I would just not drive the car for weeks on end. And the gas just sat in the tank. And I buy cheap gas, usually. And so now, since it came on, and the engine is running just fine, and even the guy at the auto shop said, if it starts running funny, then see a mechanic, but until it runs funny, you're okay. And it isn't running funny at all. So I'm going to get it serviced when I get to my destination, but unless it starts running funny before then, which it hasn't. And it's been a couple days of driving since. But I've been buying top-tier gas to clean out the system because we're pretty sure that it's just one of the cylinders got gummed up from sitting so long and the sediments in the gas tank and that kind of stuff. So another funny snafu I had on the road, and this was just me being an idiot one day yesterday. So I have this very fancy travel cup that I researched and looked at and kind of orbited for a while, because that's how I make decisions. I think about it and research it, and then I finally dive. It's like I circle and look like a bird, and then I just finally do it. So anyway, it was a couple years ago that I got this thing, because the first thing I put in my body in the morning is hot water. It was an experiment that I tried for my skin when I saw some longevity expert folks talk about it. And I said, like I do with most things, I'll try this for a month. And if I really like it, then I will keep it. And that was a couple years ago, and I have always done it because it just makes such a huge difference to your mood, to your digestion, to your skin, to your beauty, all the things. So when I'm on the road, that's something that I often couldn't have. So I found this golden travel thermos that hooks in to the... Oh, she's eating some grass. That's funny. She does that a lot. Oh, there are people who have cats. Do y'all's cats eat grass too? I want to get her some cat grass, but she's never paid attention to it before. She only likes the wild stuff. Anyways, it plugs into the car cigarette lighter, and it heats up water for me. And so I drink it in the morning. And it only needs to be in there for about 10 minutes, and then it's good and hot. And yesterday, I was talking, and I was checking in with friends, and I was updating people on what was going on. And I left it in for like an hour almost. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it has been almost an hour. Let me unplug this right away. And I unplugged it, and I felt the side of the thermos. And yeah, it was pretty hot. But it was okay. It wasn't like hot enough to burn or anything. I'm like, okay. And then a couple minutes go by, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, I should open it so that the steam can escape. And that is where I was an idiot. And I pop the top, and it goes whoosh, and just explodes all over my car. Boiling water, like a cup and a half or so of boiling water just shoots all over my car, and I'm screaming. And I'm on the highway, driving highway miles. So one of the wonderful things that I have been passed down from, I believe, the matriarchal line of my family, because my mother's line comes just speckled and filled with really powerful, wise, badass women. One of the things I got from them is that I never panic in an emergency. I always have my wits about me in the emergency, and I panic later. Like, I have to discharge all that energy later. But at the moment, I just pointed it at the passenger seat, because Lily was in the back. Thank goodness boiling water didn't spray all over her. So I pointed it at the passenger seat, which is also covered with towels and stuff, because when I travel, I just cover all the inside planes of my car, because Lily has dusty feet, and, it's just good for the car, and I've learned over time. What's up, girl? Shall I hear her meow? Anyways, so I pointed at the passenger seat, and there's hot water all over my ceiling, all over my dashboard, all over, this is some cool moss, all over my console, all over me. So my first two fingers on my right hand got pretty cooked. And that was that. And I was laughing at myself and thinking, I know at the time I did that for a reason, but afterward, knowing now what I did not know then, that seems like a very dumb thing to do. So, just goes to show, sometimes you make stupid ass mistakes for no reason, other than you just made a stupid ass mistake and didn't realize the consequences. Because I thought, let's just let the steam escape. I didn't think this bitch has been boiling for a while. There's gonna be a ton of pressure in there, Karish. Don't open it. It's gonna be like a damn gun in your car. So anyway. That was funny. And then, so my first two fingers were kind of burned, and I just did a bunch of EFT. I just tapped probably several times. So when I find with EFT, if you guys go back on my YouTube, my very first video I ever put, I think the very first one back in 2011 or something, was how to do EFT. And so I did that. And what I find is, in the beginning, if you take the pain or the anxiety or whatever it is that you're tapping about on a scale from 1 to 10, and you say, how bad is this? And then you do your tapping. And then you wait about 5 minutes. It usually goes down a minimum of about 2 notches. It might go down more. But say your pain, my pain started off at like a 7, I think, 6 or 7. It was pretty bad. I mean, you know how burns are. They kind of won't leave you alone. And so I tapped it away. And it was gone. It was down a little bit. I waited about 10 minutes, and then I did it again and again and again and again. And then sometimes it would be gone for a little while, it'd come back. But by the time an hour had passed or so, the pain was totally gone, which was great. And now I'm totally fine. And yeah, EFT is one of those really magical things that it soothes your nervous system. So it's like a tonic. It can do a bunch of different things. It can make good things better. It can make bad things less bad. And it's straight up physical, and the results are very quick. So the way you do it is you see where you are on a scale of 1 to 10, and then you tap. And like I said, then you wait and distract yourself for a few minutes so that your mind will be off of it and your body's automatic processes can fix itself. And then you check again. And if you need to do it again, you do. And I've seen amazing results, both in myself and other people, from doing it. So, yeah. Okay. I should get on the road. This has been really lovely. It's nice to be on the East Coast. I drove through, first out of California, then through Arizona, then through Texas and the long stretches of flat Texas, and then Oklahoma, where things start to change and the forests start marching toward the road, and then you're driving through the forest. And then through Missouri, and now I'm in Indiana. I might have touched Illinois for a second. Or I might be in Illinois now. No, I think I'm in Indiana now. You would think that with all the traveling I do, I would have a good sense of geography. No, not true. I know I'm on Earth-ish. That's about it. I know I'm in the United States. That's about it. So, yeah, things are good. The nature is really beautiful here. I had been stopping at highway-ish stops rather than going far out and finding good, like, national forest or national park spots. By the way, I've said this before, I will say it again right now. If you want to find free camping in the United States, you can look at BLM land, the Bureau of Land Management, but, in my mind it stands for something else. And you can also go to freecampsites.net. So on BLM land, it's called dispersed camping. And it's free camping. You can camp for up to 14 days on national land, and it's completely legal. It's completely free, and you just need to check. So what I do is when I'm going through a spot, I'll look at the green. I'll open up my map app. I'll look at the green, where the green is, and then I'll zoom in and see, okay, this is like, McKinnis National Forest. So let me zoom into McKinnis National Forest, and let me open up another tab and search McKinnis National Forest dispersed camping or McKinnis National Forest free camping, and it tells you where you can do it. Also, there is a website that I go to recently-ish called freecampsites.net, and that has a bunch of them too. You can search the area, and then they have free ones and paid ones, but reviews of them, and that has been very handy for me. So, yeah, those are ways you can camp for free. Those are ways you can camp legally. I do not like trying to sleep where it's not legal, because the idea that even it could happen that a police officer or a ranger, whoever, could come knock on your window at the middle of the night, wake you up, tell you to move, keeps you from getting good sleep, in my opinion. So I just always make sure it's legal and above board, and that works out best for me to relax and actually get rest. And then sometimes I, like I did last night, come splurge on a $6 campsite. So a lot of y'all think certain things about getting on the road that you, for instance, need a lot of money to do it or need a lot of supplies to do it, and that's really not true. I mean, there are a few things that I've learned over the years that I'm happy to share with you guys. If you want to know, let me know about, like, staying clean on the road. That's stuff I learned at Burning Man. Or food on the road. I end up doing a lot of raw food as stuff when I'm on the road. I end up doing a lot of fruit and snacks, also because I don't really want an extremely full stomach on the road, because I'm sitting there all day driving usually, and it just doesn't feel great. And also I'm not burning many calories while I'm on the road, obviously, because I'm sitting there driving. So I'm good with kind of a light fast, and that also means that you have more energy when you're on the road, and also when you are done, you are not so heavy, not so lethargic, and, you can continue on. Speaking of continuing on, I'm going to do that. Send you guys so much love. I'm going to put this up on all my platforms, I think. So feel free to let me know if you guys have any questions, comments. I'm still traveling for a little while. I'm going to end up back in California eventually in a few weeks, but I'm going to kind of be a little bit. I know most of the spots that I'm hitting, but there are some that I'm not quite sure about how long I'll be in or where exactly I'll go. So it's really nice to be on the road again. The quarantine and the pandemic is not that much an issue for me, because, social distancing is easy. The only time I see anyone is when I pump gas. And so I put my mask on, pump gas, go in, use the bathroom, wash my hands really well, use a tissue to touch all the doorknobs on the way out, and then sometimes I sanitize my hands again when I get in the car, and it's fine. So, okay. Send you guys so much love.